Welcome back, everybody, to the Get Fit ASAP podcast. I'm Anthony. I'm your host. And today we're going to be talking about responsibility and ownership of your fitness and your health. Now, what made me think of this to talk about this is, I don't know if you guys have watched the Saints game last weekend, but very close game, okay? I think they were in fourth quarter, it was tied up, and there was just a horrible no call, basically, at the end of the game, which could have changed the outcome. Basically, the Saints got that call, so it was a pass interference call, or actually it was a pass interference, no call. Pretty blatant, just a horrible missed call, probably one of the worst I've ever seen. But if they did get the call, they would have had a first down. They basically could have ran the clock down to, I think they said 15 seconds, and then they could have kicked a field goal to win the game. But obviously it didn't happen. The game went into overtime, and they ended up losing. And then, I don't know if you guys have seen the news, but the Saints are trying to sue the NFL for missing the call. And I'm like, dude, it's kind of ridiculous that they're trying to sue the NFL. Even if it is a horrible missed call, like, there's still a million things they could have done to win the game. They could have played better. They could have, beforehand, they could have not even let it get to that point. But especially the thing is that they had the ball first in overtime. So they could have ended the game right then. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like for them to go back and then blame the missed call. But like I said, hey, I like the Saints. I like Drew Brees. I respect them. And, the whole team, the coaching staff. I actually kind of wanted them to win. Actually, I didn't really care. I kind of wanted the Rams to win too. But anyways, it's like, dude, I just kind of lost respect for them when they tried to sue. I'm like, dude, you got to take ownership for that. You should have scored that the last drive in overtime. Okay, like right then, there was your chance. So even with the blown call, even with everything else, you still had a chance to win at the end of the game, and you didn't do it. So right then, I feel like you can't blame it on someone else because you still had control, and you still could have won. It wasn't like this is the last call of the game, and the game just ended right then, which you can still kind of say there's still an argument there that you could have done 100 things different beforehand to not let it get there. But we'll just play devil's advocate and say, that did actually lose in the game. But basically, just for them not taking ownership of it and saying like, yeah, you know what, horrible call, but we still could have won the game. And we didn't play as good as we needed to. In overtime, we should have ended it right then, or we should have done 100 things different beforehand to not even get to overtime, and they didn't. And that's kind of the thing that just rubbed me the wrong way. I can't help but think, what would Bill Belichick or Tom Brady say? Maybe probably the best dynasty ever, maybe best quarterback ever. I guarantee if they lost, they would not be freaking blaming the referees. Bill Belichick would have went on that stand. He would have said, we should have played better. We didn't play as good as we could. We still had the ball. In the fourth quarter, we should have ended it right then. I guarantee he would have taken ownership of it and ended it right there. But that's why they're the greatest ever. You know what I'm saying? I don't like them either. I hate their football team. But damn, you got to respect them. Like, they freaking, year after year after year, they get shit done. And they're freaking good. And you know why? Because they don't make excuses about a bunch of crap. They take ownership of it, and they go and fix it, and they go and get it done. And you can't help but respect that. And then kind of moving on to, your health and fitness, you're in control like 90% of the time. Of course, you can get in some kind of, maybe a weird wreck and get hurt and you can't work out, or maybe you're born with some hereditary disease that, maybe cancer or something like that, that you don't have control over. But I feel like probably even more, but 90% of the time you're in control of what you can do and what to improve your health or improve your fitness. Yes, bad things will happen and that you can't control, like I said. But mostly when you're trying to hit your goals and you can't do it, or you're not getting there, and you try to blame a bunch of different things, this is kind of what I'm getting at. So for example, like, the program you're doing is not working, or you're too busy to go to the gym, so it's just not working, or you're big boned, so you can just never get the body you want. I mean, there's no diet I do works. I just can't do it. I just don't have the motivation. It's just a whole bunch of excuses that you don't want to take ownership for. You're either being lazy or you're not committed to it, basically. Because really every program works. Every workout program is going to be better than doing nothing. Some do work better than others. Same with the diets, but it's going to still be better than doing nothing. And the problem with blaming other things, or blaming someone else, or using excuses, is that you can never fix the problem because you never take responsibility for it, and it's never your fault. So if it's never your fault, you can't ever fix it because you're relying on outside sources to dictate if you do it or not. Now, if you take ownership of it, take responsibility of it, and say, hey, I'm in control of this, then you can actually make a change and fix the problem. And I don't think, actually I kind of know, no one respects someone that just does a bunch of excuses or uses a bunch of excuses for everything. It's like you don't want to hear it. It's just a bunch of, everyone knows the real reason. You know what I'm saying? Everyone knows why it's not getting done. It's because you're not taking ownership of it. And you just need to own up to your mistakes or your actions, basically. Like I said, if you don't, and you just keep deflecting what you're not doing, then you're never going to reach your goals that way. I know for me personally, when someone knows they messed up and they man up and say, hey, I messed up, well, I'm going to do it better, I'm going to change this, like, I'll respect them 100 times more than someone that just blames someone else. It's really annoying, and it just kind of, I guess it goes back to their character, or maybe they're just lazy. I don't really know. They just don't want to deal with it. Maybe they're weak-minded. It's hard to say, really. I mean, everyone's probably a little bit different. And I'm only 30 years old, so I guess that's a lot of years on the earth. Maybe not. I guess it's all relative, but I feel like it's getting worse, or I just notice it more often, but I don't know. I feel like it's getting worse. I keep seeing it over and over and over now. What I want you to do, though, is take a step back. Next time you say you couldn't do something, or you didn't reach something that you wanted to reach, I know we're talking about health and fitness goals, but really anything in life. Take a step back. Ask yourself, hey, am I really doing everything I can? Can I take action for this problem and fix it? Okay, I mean, most of the time you're going to be, there's like very, very, very few things that you can't. So I feel like you'll be alright. Let's take losing weight for an example. When you say, hey, I want to lose 15 pounds, but I just can't do it. Like, when I go home, my husband, he makes such a good dinner, I just have to eat it. Or I can't cook different meals for my family, it's just too hard. Or I don't have any healthy food in my house, or none of the food tastes good. These are all just excuses for you not having enough self-discipline, not being prepared enough, or just not wanting to face those little problems that you have to face to reach your goal. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee if you sat down with your husband and told him, hey, like, it's really important to me, I really want to achieve this goal, he's going to make conscious decisions to help you to reach your goal. He's going to cook better for you, or maybe make something slightly different. Same thing if you tell your family that, or maybe you do have to make two different kinds of meals. Dude, if your goal is that important to you, is that really that hard? No, it doesn't take 15 more minutes, 10 minutes maybe, and you can always just change it up just a little bit to whatever they're eating, or just to make it a little bit healthier, or maybe it's still healthy but less portions, whatever it is. But dude, if you just face the problems head on, there's always something that you can do about it. rather than going back and saying, oh, I just couldn't do it, it's just too hard for me to do, or I can't do it in my house because they eat something different. No, it's just an excuse for you not being prepared enough, or not wanting it bad enough, basically. But you need to face that problem head on. Ask yourself, hey, am I lying to myself right now? Am I being lazy? Am I scared to confront this problem? Is it important to me? I promise you, once you change the way you're thinking about it and how you act to it, you'll start achieving a lot more and then reaching your goals a lot easier and a lot more. Hopefully this helps you guys out a lot. I know it's helped me out a lot. And I think it's just really, the thing I like about it the most is you can take control of it. So like sometimes if you want to do something, you're like, man, I really don't know if I could do this or not. Like, who knows? Like, I guess we'll have to just wait and see. That's like the total wrong way to go about it. You need to take control over it, and then for sure you can get there. Because if you can set up a plan, you can take actions and set up tasks to make sure you achieve that. But if you kind of just say, oh, I don't know, kind of just see how it goes, you don't take control of it, and then I guarantee you're not going to reach it, because you need to have a plan in place to do it, and you need to set up certain things, certain tasks you need to do every day to get there. So if you don't take control of it, you can't set those tasks to even get started. I know it's kind of hard to think about this when you're in the moment. So maybe if you have to write this down, put it in your notes on your phone, set it as a reminder on your phone, something like that, or maybe listen to the podcast again later and kind of just to remind you. Life's always all about perspective. So if you're thinking about these certain things differently, and you're wondering why you're never achieving something that you want to achieve, it's probably because of something you're doing. So I feel like this could help you guys out a lot. Just try to keep that in your head though when you really want to achieve something, but you think something's holding you back. Because like I said, almost 100% of the time, there's something that you can do to change your outcome. But that's all I got for you guys this week. Thanks for tuning in again, and I'll see you guys next week.